Is this the end of days? Let's check it out. If you go back into the book of Genesis with the days of Noah versus the days of the coming of the Son of Man, it talks about in Matthew 24. In Genesis 6, chapter 5, it says, "For God saw the wickedness of man, it was great on the earth, and every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually." Means all they thought about was evil, 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 wickedness, imagination. All their thoughts were constantly wicked. That was it. The voice on the earth in Genesis 6:11 says, violence was on the earth, extreme violence. That's all people wanted. It's all they sought was violence. If you look at this, Genesis 6:5, and you go over the 1 Timothy 4:1, it talks about seducing spirits. Seducing spirits that go out into the world, and they will take a false doctrine with them. If you look at the word doctrine in the biblical dictionary, it talks about stuff that's passed down from generation to generation to generation as sound. So this demonic spirits, demonic doctrine that will be preached will be passed down from demonic spirits through the ages to people, and they will believe it and they will receive it as the truth, but it's wicked. Also, you have violence on the earth. You'll have wars and fighting to talk about in Matthew 24. Excessive eating that talks about in Matthew 24. And also, that was one of the signs in the days of Noah. You also have that in Matthew 24. You also have drinking and drunkenness, which you had in the days of Noah. You have that in Matthew 24. Marrying, and also in the book of Genesis and in the book of Matthew. Now, in 1 Timothy, it talks about in chapter 4 that they will not be allowed to marry. There'll be a time will comes that will say you can't marry. It's for spiritual purposes that you will not be allowed to marry, because they say for spiritual reasons can't do it. And also they'll say you can't eat that stuff, refrain from eating that stuff, even though God it's all clean. They'll say don't eat this stuff, refrain from it. These are all signs that build up into the signs of the days of Noah, as it will come in the being of the Son of Man. And if you look at this deep study on Noah's day and how it was constantly violence, violence, violence is all they thought, wickedness, all they thought. And only 8 people were the only ones that did not have this in their heart. You look at society today, there's marrying going on, there's weddings going on, there's drunkenness going on, there's violence building up, lawlessness building up, wickedness building up, violence is building up, more and more and more and more. This is only going to lead to greater things to come down the road. This hourglass is running out very quickly. The Son of Man is coming at an hour we will not know. And the signs that you see in Noah's day are going to lead up to the signs of the coming of the Son of Man, and they're going to greatly intensify. It talks about in the book of Matthew, the last generation will be worse than the first generation. So if you look at the first generation, which was in Noah's day, how bad it was that the Lord destroyed it with the flood. Only 8 people survived because, like it says, they only thought of wickedness day and night, constantly. So this last generation will be worse than the first generation. Look around. It's going to continue to explode, continue to grow in these things like it was in the days of Noah. So shall it be in the coming of the Son of Man.